Gianluigi Donnarumma to Manchester United. I know, but hear me out on this one. Here on Forever United TV, you know I like to bring you all of the news and everything that's going on with Manchester United, even the most obscure story, which I have always said this one is. But there are more rumours and more stories coming out about Manchester United approaching PSG for Donnarumma. It would be an absolutely miraculous signing for Manchester United if it's made. We'll go through the stories first, but this is what I want to do with this video. I want to gauge your opinion on this and whether you think that Manchester United has changed, because I am fully in thinking here that if Ineos weren't in charge of Manchester United right now, Man United would have gone out and got Donnarumma. I want your opinions on this and hear me out on it. First of all, let's get into the actual story itself, and then we'll get into the little subplot of how I see this actually happening and how it could happen for United. I'll always stand by the fact that I do not think that this is a deal that Manchester United will do, because Donnarumma would not come to Manchester United. But there is part of me that thinks, going off what's been said and what's been reported and contracts that are at Manchester United at the moment, where a lot of people would say not a chance in hell Ineos are going to spend this amount of money on a goalkeeper. I don't actually think it's that case. I don't. I think it's a little bit different, and why I don't see this happening. I'll explain it all now. But first of all, the story and where it's actually at the moment. Now, Sports Zone are the latest to come out and report this, alongside a few other sources now. We've been talking about it. L'Equipe ran it. I don't listen to L'Equipe. I don't think they are right with anything football related, personally. I really don't care for that publication at all. Nothing against them. I just don't think their football knowledge is right up there, and they're not who I would look at for a definite story regarding a transfer in football matters in England anyway. But Sports Zone are now saying that Manchester United have made contact with PSG regarding Gianluigi Donnarumma. Al Ittihad and Galatasaray are offering him close to 17 million per year, while Chelsea and Manchester City have also made inquiries. Now, we spoke about it on the live show earlier on. Apparently, the PSG deal is not as much as what he's on now. So the renewal of the contract apparently is PSG not paying Donnarumma any more than what he's on now. So with everything covered and all of his wages in place, with bonuses and everything like that, I had it up before. I'll actually get it up again now just to give you the exact amount of what Donnarumma is actually on at the moment. So this is verified. So his contract in pounds at PSG right now is 212,000 base a week, with 90,000 in add-ons in bonuses. Obviously, I'm guessing he's met them bonuses because PSG bleeding won everything, and he pretty much played every single game that was necessary. So, combined with everything, he's on £15.7 million a year at the moment, Donnarumma. His contract ends next summer. So he's got 11 months now to run on his contract, nearly 10 months to run on his contract. TikTok, yes, no chance of a renewal at the moment. PSG don't want to give him any more. So, like the story says there, Al Ittihad, I don't see him going to Saudi Arabia. I don't see him going to Galatasaray, although I am shocked that they still managed to get Osimhen over the line. Where are they getting them wages from? My God, that is astronomical. Man City and Chelsea, yeah, I could see where their interest would be, but looking at it right now, City, I'd probably say, with James Trafford intact and that deal done, I don't see them going for him. Would you pay, and this is the question I want to ask right now, and this sounds obscure, you're like, Adam, goalkeeper getting that much money? Well, we did pay David De Gea that much money, by the way, probably a bit more. Would you match them offers that are in right now, 17 million a year for Gianluigi Donnarumma? Would you pay that for the best in the world, one of the best arguably in the world, in his prime? I don't think people realise that Donnarumma is only 26. Would you go for, like I said, one of the at least top 3 to 5 goalkeepers on the planet right now, on them ridiculous wages, if you can get a good transfer fee because he's got less than a year to run on his contract? Would you go for it? Say, for instance, you had to pay 20 million to get him. I don't think PSG would let him go for that amount of money. And in all of this, there is no transfer fee being mentioned yet. But what we're looking at here, and this is how I see this could possibly turn out and happen for Manchester United, and this is my little conspiracy theory and why I think Manchester United might have even touched base with Donnarumma. I don't think United would have a problem with paying Donnarumma 325 grand a week wages. I don't. We paid it before with David De Gea, and you will come back at me in the comments and say, yeah, but Adam, that was with the Glazers only, and we always paid stupid wages. Look where we are now. We're trying to get rid of that. No. We have just renewed Bruno Fernandes's contract under Ineos, and he is on more than that. So the point I'm making here is Manchester United and Ineos are paying players the higher wages if they're competing every single week. If they're playing every week at Manchester United, this is the word coming from the club, if they're guaranteed starters and they're going to be contributing a lot every single game, then they don't mind rewarding the best players. Donnarumma is one of the, if not the best in the world right now in goalkeeper, in his prime, and his current club are not giving him a new deal. Now, he may get a new deal, might not. But could Manchester United be looking at Senne Lammens? Again, more reports on what was said before with Ben Jacobs on Manchester United and adding or accelerating talks now with Lammens and Royal Antwerp for bringing him in. He's going to be a cheaper option. He's going to be on absolutely peanuts. Could he be coming in to play underneath Andre Onana, and then Andre Onana leaves in the summer because he's got 1 year left on his contract? That's next summer, I mean. And then Donnarumma comes in with a pre-negotiated contract for Manchester United. Maybe we're touching base with him now, saying, look, we'll take you on a free and we'll pay you this massive wages a week. No problem at all. We'll get Donnarumma on a 5-year deal. We'll see him through. Yeah, it may be costing United between 18 and 20 million a year in wages, but would you pay that for the best goalkeeper on the planet right now? Look, it's arguable regarding the best and where he's actually at. I know this, but the story is there and the story is being spoken about and there's more and more coming out. I don't want to be talking about this because ultimately I feel that Manchester United are being used in all of this to get a new deal for Donnarumma. But again, this is now the second, third and fourth source now that's come out and said that Manchester United have contacted PSG over Donnarumma. I mean, if they're looking at Emi Martinez, then you cannot cancel out the fact that Manchester United might look at Donnarumma. If they thought that there was a possibility of getting him, and look, this could be absolutely obscure, absolutely craziness and thinking this, and I get that a lot of you would disagree with what I'm thinking here, but I want to know and I want to gauge the chat, so I want you in the comment section talking to me about this type of deal. Now, that is there. United reportedly have touched base with PSG to find out what it would take to get Donnarumma in. I don't think Manchester United are going to buy him. I think Manchester United would look towards next summer, maybe on a free transfer, if they can agree something internally with Donnarumma. He wants to see out the rest of his contract. Look, this has happened before with players at PSG. We've seen it. We've seen it with the likes of Kylian Mbappe. Everything like this always comes around at them football clubs. And he feels that if, I'm going off these reports, that a Champions League winning goalkeeper in his prime, in his mid-20s, isn't getting a contract renewal than more than what he's on right now, when other clubs in lesser positions than PSG right now, i.e. the European champions, are offering him more, he's walking. And you can see his stance on this. You can see his stance, like he's not on ridiculously low wages. And let's be honest, when you look at it, basically breaking it down, he's on it's a lot of money. Like he's on just over 300 grand a week with all of his bonuses. Is he worth bringing in at Manchester United? That is the question. Would you go for Donnarumma? The story is there. Just to go over it one more time so you're clear on what has actually been said and what's actually going around at the moment. Manchester United have made contact with PSG regarding Donnarumma. Al Ittihad and Galatasaray are offering him 17 million per year. If Galatasaray are in for Donnarumma, should United be in for Donnarumma? That's the question I'm asking right now. If we've got any aspirations, should this be the type of player that we actually do go for? Now, again, just trying to get it right across, like, I don't think it will happen. But is there anyone at United thinking that this actually is an alright deal for the club? Especially if we can get him cheap. The wages won't really come into it that much. We're talking about buying Ollie Watkins at the moment and sanctioning a deal for 4 years for a player that's going to be on more than what it's going to cost us to get Donnarumma over the line. Let that sink in. Similar, anyway. So if we're thinking about Watkins and that price, should we be thinking about Donnarumma as well? Just putting it out there. Just to give you the full clarity on Manchester United's actual position right now with Senne Lammens as well. The latest on this, again from a couple of sources, is Manchester United have a growing interest in Senne Lammens with the Emilio Martinez deal considered complicated. United could wait to sell Anthony to Al Nassr in order to raise funds to make an offer for Royal Antwerp's Lammens. Honestly, if we're having to sell Anthony to buy Lammens, then I don't think Manchester United are going to be buying a goalkeeper. We need to be concentrating on the striker. Unless we already have the money aside for the striker. God knows how. I don't know what's happening. But the fact that we're talking to Watkins and talking to Benjamin Sesko at the moment tells you there's something somewhere, money available Are United thinking outside of the box here? Let me know what you think, everybody. Get into the comment section and talk to me, please. I want to know your thoughts on Donnarumma. Please hit that like button as well. And, of course, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. Also, we're on the march. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you all in the update later on.